I finished it yesterday evening, and I was just telling Lynn, she said, oh, it looks really good. If I didn't know what you did, I wouldn't be able to tell, and blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. It's sand mix. It's topping mix. This is what you're supposed to be able to do with it. We'll see if it's actually going to work. I'm not 100% sure that at least on the edges it isn't going to break off and it's not going to make it smoother. There's still some major lumps in it. I'm thinking about putting up a big fucking sign right here. Right here on this post that says, this pathway is not level. Neither is the yard. Neither is anything worth walking on, you stupid fucks. What the hell, a bunch of pansies. Here's the thing that I love about fucking people. Not really love, by the way, in case you don't get irony. Here's the thing I fucking love about people. A motherfucker will climb a goddamn mountain and then bitch that a pathway is unlevel or they have to go up 3 steps to get in the fucking house.
Yep.
Okay? They will go to the gym to work out, to get exercise, and then park as close to the front door as they can so they don't have to walk.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, right?
This is what I'm tired of with humanity. This is why the world is working at shaking us off, because we're too stupid to live.
It's too early for me to step on it, but oh my goodness.
And I plan to put rock work up to the bottom of the wall.
So you're going to be covering your pretty brickwork?
Yeah, well, my temporary has been on there for years brickwork.
Yes.
That I did with a sponge and a can of spray paint. There you go.
Yeah.
I took a can of spray paint and I touched up everywhere there was rust on the skirt. And then I took a sponge and nailed it to a board. Actually, it was a sponge mop, so it had a plastic back on it. I nailed it to a board. I filled it with red paint, and I just stamped the brick pattern. It's the same thing I did at the school, at the little town.
Yep.
But anyway.
So you're going to put flashing and do repairs on the base here?
I'm going to put a piece of wood here with caulking so that water can't get behind it.
Right.
And then I'm going to build the wall up to here, and I'm going to flare it out at the base. So, and
it'll shed water.
Paint first.
Yeah, I know. Yay.
I hate painting. I need to paint our house really badly.
Yeah, but things have kind of been happening.
Things suck here.
Yeah, things have been happening.
Things suck. We had 4 doe kids born for reasons known only to the universe. You never have a doe year. Ever. We had 2 does kid, 4 does between them. The first batch of twins, she had basically walked away from. One of them was stillborn. The other one was weak, but I thought, oh, it'll be okay. So I took it, cleaned it up, started feeding it, just a bunch of crap went on. I did every single thing you could think of to try to save that kid.
And some things you would never have thought of, yeah.
And I had, so the next batch were born. Bonnie gave birth. Bonnie had one great big, knock wood, super healthy doe kid. The other one was teeny and scrawny. She had left it. It was cold when I found it, but I got it up, got it breathing, warmed it up, worked on it for 3 days. It went ahead, turned up toes, and died. Here's the thing about goats. Goats are really healthy unless they get sickened and they die.
Yeah.
That's the problem with them. Okay, I took that for 3 weeks. I worked on that doe kid trying to save it.
From the first batch, yeah.
From the first batch. And then at one point it started, its eye got a cataract. I started treating that. That got worse and worse. But she was starting to get around. She was starting to walk. I made a sling for her to stand. You name it, I did it. I gave her CBD. I gave her antibiotics. I get every fucking thing you can think of to do. I did. Yesterday, her other eye went blind instantaneously. Like it wasn't blind in the morning, In the afternoon, it went solid white. Both of her eyes were solid white. She had some kind of neurological defect, which is probably why the mother just kind of left the kids there.
Yeah.
So I had to put that animal down. And it's not easy to put an animal down that you freaking worked on for 3 weeks, especially a little baby animal that you're trying to make live, and you're doing this and you're doing that, and you're 15 times a day you're running to the barn to do something with this kid. Then you've got to put it down. And people are like, well, take it to the vet to have it. Well, first off, that's really expensive. Second off, not any kinder to the animal at all. And what you're really doing is ruining somebody else's day because you decided to have animals. If you're going to have animals...
Oh, take it to the vet to have it put down.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're going to have animals, part of the chore of having animals is knowing that sometimes you're going to have to do horrible, ungodly things that just rip your soul out of your body. If you don't want to do that, don't have them. You know, I don't see what the difference is between people putting their dog or their cat or their goats or their animals down and doing it themselves. I had to have a goat put down once because we had to have her tested for rabies because the dogs attacked her.
Oh my God, that's a story.
Okay, so that's a whole story.
Tell
I
it.
may tell you that story.
Well,
I'll tell it when I get done with this part of it.
Yeah.
Because it'll be a funny story. We can end on a funny note.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Well, why is that funny? You'll see. Anyway, so I had to take her and have her put down. It was horrific. It lasted minutes. It wasn't over instantaneously. When I put an animal down, I shoot them behind the ear. It's horrible. I don't like to do it. It's over instantaneously.
There's no suffering on the
There's no
animals.
suffering. They're dead instantaneously. I had to watch that goat die for like 3 fucking minutes. It was horrific. She was thrashing around. It wasn't peaceful. At any rate, so now I'll tell the funny story.
Yeah, so why do you have to go to the vet?
So why? Okay, so I had to go to the vet. So the dogs, this is the thing. I'm always trying to save animals. Even when I know what I just told you, that goats are really healthy till they're not, and then they turn up toes and die. The same can be said with lots of animals. Okay, I've seen it with cattle, I've seen it with horses, same damn thing. Okay, so the dogs came in and killed all my stock.
Not our dogs.
No, not our dogs. No. I wouldn't have a stock killing dog. Dogs came in that killed everything we had. I've talked about this before. When the neighbor came looking for their pit bull. I told this story already.
Yeah.
Okay, so dogs came in, they killed everything Meyer had, they killed everything I had, except this one poor goat, which they just tore to shit. They tore her to shit. And I should have put her down immediately. That would have been the kindest thing to do. But I didn't have any goats left. And so I tried to save this goat. I did everything, just like I did with this last one. I shot her full of antibiotics. I gave her these shots and that shot and this medication and that medication and gave her feed that she would eat and blah, 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 blah. For about a month. And then the goat starts foaming at the fucking mouth, and I realize, oh my God, I've had my goddamn hands up in this animal's mouth, giving it pills, giving it this, giving it that, and now it could have rabies. I've got to have this goat tested for rabies, because I called the vet and he said, yeah, bring her in. We're going to have to test her for rabies, because if she has rabies, you're going to have to get shots. So I bring the goat to the vet, and like I said, it was traumatic the way they killed her. Traumatic. But it gets better. Because it turns out when you take livestock to the vet, they don't dispose of the body. Okay? And in order to take rabies samples, they had to pack the animal's head in ice and send it to Little Rock. Now, it turned out the goat had fucking tetanus, and guess what? I had to go get a tetanus shot, but at least I didn't have to get rabies shots.
Yeah.
So that's the silver lining. Okay, but at any rate, so first off, I have to watch as this goat dies, because I feel like I should be with her. I've been with her whole fucking life, and so it was traumatic. And then I go inside because I know they have to decapitate the animal. I have a white pickup truck. They apparently put the tailgate down, climbed up in the pickup truck, and decapitated the animal in my fucking pickup truck. I get ready to leave. I have my decapitated animal in the back of my fucking truck. And now I have to drive home. Okay? And there's blood dripping down the fucking tailgate and out of the back of the truck as I'm driving down the fucking road with this decapitated animal. And I'm crying like a baby, which I hate to admit, but there you go. I cried like a baby yesterday, and I've cried several times today. And if I'm not careful, I'll cry again. But at any rate, crying like a baby, driving down the road, and then as you might have noticed, I have a rather dark and sick and twisted sense of humor. So I'm going down the fucking road with my decapitated goat, blood going everywhere. And I think, if I was a cop, I would stop me. Mm-hmm. What am I going to tell the cop when I pull over and I have a decapitated goat? I could tell the truth. That's probably not going to sound very good. So I think I'm just going to look right at the cop and go, "Officer, you know how it is when you go to the satanic ritual. Somebody's got to do cleanup." I got stuck with cleanup again. But I did not get stopped.
I can't believe it.
I am.
I can't believe it.
Because the cops stopped me for, but by the way, you should know that the cops stopped me for everything. Mm-hmm. And I once got pistol whipped, and part of the problem with my knees is a cop beat me up because I changed my tags early on my truck.
Mm-hmm. And their system didn't catch up.
And the system wasn't caught up. When he found out, he let me go, but he beat me up first. So there you go. I don't know why I hate authority figures.
Meanwhile, Aces is a beautiful...
I did not get stopped.
No.
But then I had to come home, and it had droughted, and the ground was like concrete, and now I have to dig a hole in like concrete dirt to bury this headless goat. And the whole time I'm digging this hole, I'm bawling like a baby. So there's that. And isn't this a beautiful walkway?
It's a lovely walkway.
This is what I did yesterday, before I had to do the egregious thing that I had to do.
Well, it turned out nicely. I love it. I really do love it. I can't wait to walk on it. I'm going to have to leave so I don't walk on it.
Don't walk on it.
I know. It will just destroy it. I know.
Part of it. I wound up using 5 full bags of sand mix just to even this out. Not that it was really. And you can see it's still not even.
No, but it's much better.
It doesn't have just walls of rock jetting up out of the middle of nowhere.
Oh, it's awesome. I love it.
So, there's that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in and to the depressive episode of How I Spent the Apocalypse.
Okay.